Hello everyone, this is Dr. H. Today I'm going to introduce part 3 of cochlear implant. We know that for a deaf person, cochlear implant is the only solution that can help recover part of hearing. A deaf person is defined as that this person's audiogram shows a hearing loss below 90 decibel. Then we can call this person as profoundly deaf. In that case, cochlear implant is a proper treatment. For that person, cochlear implant has 5 parts: a microphone, speech processor, transmitter, receiver, stimulator, and electrode array. We have introduced those parts in previous videos. So now I'm going to talk about time of surgery. There are 2 main categories. Category 1, surgery of cochlear implant is done after a person has learned to speak. When I talk with this person, quite some of them can speak in a natural tone. However, for another category, if the surgery is done before a deaf kid learns to speak. For example, if the kid has been deaf since born, that means he or she does not have a chance to learn how to speak, because no chance of hearing anything. If this happens, the surgery can still be executed. However, we know that this kid relies on the cochlear implant to learn speech. So, if I talk with this kid after he grows up, sometimes you can feel his or her speech is like a little bit like a machine. I mean, the sound generated by a machine, because the fluctuation of the sound is not that natural. So that's why the time of surgery is also a critical factor to know the outcome of cochlear implantation. And before that, implantation, we want to know there are 2 categories. Category 1, before learning to speak. Category 2, after learning to speak. So there are two categories. Scientifically, for category 1, we say the surgery is done postlingually. For category 2, we say the surgery is done prelingually. So our outcome could be quite different. Okay, next I'm going to talk about how this cochlear implant works in details. First of all, we already introduced there are 5 parts: a microphone, a speech processor, a transmitter, a stimulator, and an electrode array. First one, microphone picks up a sound from the environment. The speech processor selects and arranges sounds from microphone. The transmitter sends off magnetic signal to the stimulator. Again, this part is underneath our skin. So if you look at the external portion, microphone is here, speech processor is here, the transmitter is here, done. That means the external portion has 3 parts. The rest two parts, stimulator, electrode array, are surgically placed underneath the skin. The skin is right here. So if this is skin, this is transmitter, this is stimulator. So they are tied together by magnetic force. Okay, with that understanding in mind, let's take a look, see how it works. First of all, if somebody else is talking, the speech is transmitting through the air wave. That air wave is vibrating the microphone. The microphone will translate the vibration into a digital domain or digital signal. The digital signal is then processed by the speech processor. The speech processor will pick the meaningful part of the signal and enhance them, and then after the speech processor's processing, the parses will be sent to transmitter. At the transmitter, alternating magnetic waves are generated based on the pulses. So eventually, the stimulator will absorb the alternating magnetic waves, and accordingly, the stimulator generates its own passive electric flow. Electric flow will be directed to the electrode array here. As we can see here, this part is outer ear. Here is middle ear. Last part is inner ear. We can see here is a snake-like organ. This organ is called cochlea. So when we do the surgery to insert the electrode array, we do need to open the skin of our brain here. And if this is the electrode array, it's very soft and it's very thin. When the array is inserted here, we notice that this cochlea is like a snail, 2 turns and a half. When the electrode is inserted, it naturally will turn around, following the 2 turns and a half upward. So a straight array before injury become a curly array after surgery. That's why when the stimulator receives the magnetic alternating wave, translates the signal into electric impulses, that impulses will be directed to the electrode array. Eventually, the electrode array touches the auditory nerve and sends out electrical current to nerves surrounding the array. Typically, there are 16 to 20 plus electrodes on one electrode array. If this is the electrode array, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 22 electrodes. Electrodes are like tiny round dots on the array, and each electrode can separately send out its own independent electrical current. That current can activate the nerves adjacent to that particular electrode. So the 22 electrodes will activate independently their adjacent nerves. Those nerves can make our brain perceive different kinds of frequencies. So essentially our brain can feel a quite useful perception of a sound, although that sound is not anyhow similar to the perception of a normal hearing person. That's why we can see that cochlear implant can provide a sense of sound to a deaf person, a sense of sound, not the same perception of a normal human being. Okay, that's all the details about the system of a cochlear implant. If you like my video, you can subscribe. This is all for today. Bye bye.